Hello, everyone, and welcome to The General List on WXOU. Today we are talking with indie artist ALEXZ Johnson. Alex, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. How's it going?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot.
Yeah, no worries. We're just in Houston here. I played a house concert last night, and we're on our way to South by Southwest right now.
Yeah, so what's that going to be like, South by Southwest? Because that's a huge deal right there.
Yeah, it's actually the first time I've been. I'm excited to see. I have a lot of friends that are going to be there, so that's going to be fun.
Are you?
I have a showcase today at 4:30 for the Delhi magazine. It's kind of like an acoustic set that I'm going to do. This whole tour in itself has been really rad so far. I've been co-headlining with this artist named Charlene Kay. It's been really amazing. I toured about 8 months ago, and it felt a bit soon to go on the road again, but I launched a pledge campaign for my next album. So I thought this was kind of a good way to go out there and pay my dues and introduce some of the new material from the new album on stage, and if people were moved, then they can hopefully donate to the campaign.
So about the campaign now, I just checked it, and you're up to 289 pledges. We got 65% of the goal reached, and still 47 days left. By the time this interview airs, you're going to be even higher. And just like
Awesome.
the Kickstarter campaign last year, you ended up raising over $67,000 against a $30,000 goal. I mean, what is it
Yeah.
like knowing so many people care about your music, that they're willing to donate money to help you reach your dreams?
It's pretty amazing. I got really emotional last night. I was playing this little intimate house concert. We decided we couldn't find a venue in Houston in the time that we needed to, so we decided to just do like a cap venue of 60 people. And it was interesting, like in the audience, singing, walking, acoustic, and having these fans look at me and get emotional. And I got emotional because I was just thinking about how I had no idea, like the first initial jump into asking the fans for support was really scary for me because I'm super independent, obviously.
Right, right.
But I like to do things. I feel like I can do it. I can make it happen somehow. And I was in a situation in my career where I was signing with these big major labels, and I wasn't able to do anything I wanted to do. I was trapped and being held down, and it was so debilitating for me creatively. And then when I went independent, I was like, there is an exchange happening here because I'm making music and I'm broke and I'm trying everything I can to get this out there, and I need help. And if people believe in it enough, then hopefully they can help me make it happen. So it's a nice exchange that's happening. And it hit me last night when I was playing this acoustic concert that I'm standing up there, with my guitar, singing these songs that are so personal to me and sharing my experiences in hopes that people can relate in some way on a human level,
Yeah.
And then they go to the merch table and they buy my CD, and I'm like, sweet. So, you do that for me, and I can keep doing this. And I think that that's the paradigm that's shifting in the industry, is that you don't need the middleman anymore.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. I mean, art can really connect directly to its audience, and I'm really happy to be a part of this time now, and I think that everything that's happened in my career has led me here.
Now, unlike Kickstarter, Pledge Music, it does not automatically reveal the goal of your campaign. I don't think you've publicly said it. I don't know if you want to or, if you're willing to. I mean, we are curious, what are you trying to raise this time?
With this album, well, it just comes down to, I mean, the general cost of really doing a record, is about 30 grand to do an actual album with someone that could, when it comes to mastering and mixing and everything like that. And obviously there's a bit more of an expense on top of that just for the recording time and living expenses and where I decide to do it, whether it be, in New York City where I live or if it's in LA. So it's around there. I can't give an exact number just because it's kind of Pledge's policy, but yeah, I decided to use this platform this time because I loved how much it was focused on music, and Kickstarter was such a success. I didn't want to. It even felt with this record, I was almost kind of like, is it too soon to launch another campaign? But I felt like, I've toured and I'm touring again, and it's time for an album, and this is, a cool way to maybe make it, to involve people in the process. And the people at Pledge have been really helpful and amazing. So hopefully it ends up making its goal.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. We got plenty of time. But, one of the cool features also with the campaign is, of course, what you get for pledging. What is the process like coming up, with these rewards? Like visiting the studio, I mean, writing a song with you, house concerts, I mean, the song multi-tracks.
Yeah,
is a
someone
cool
bought
thing.
the writing a song, which I thought was, insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually insanely awesome.
what is
Sweet.
that going to be like? I mean, are you excited to write with someone?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's hard coming up with, those kind of things, because it's like sometimes you need perspective from the close friends and family to be like, you know, how much do I charge for this? But yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be really fun. It was, you know, even the Kickstarter stuff was you hit speed bumps, you know, like I'm doing this without management and I'm doing this all by myself, you know, and it feels like with Kickstarter there was a couple packages that went missing or things went wrong. But at the end of the day, when you're dealing with an international fan base, it's really difficult to delegate. But I feel like I'm learning. I've learned so much through the Kickstarter process, and I feel like Pledge is kind of the platform of Pledge kind of makes things a bit easier upon delivery of the digital album, and so that they do things that are kind of a bit with music. Just with music, it feels like it could kind of come together nicely. I think it's exciting. Vinyl again, gonna be making new vinyl for the record.
Yes,
and
awesome.
Coming up with the artwork, and I have such a vision for this album. It's all going to be a really creative time for me.
Last summer you did a house show for the Kickstarter. What was it like for you, you know, going to, you know, fans' personal, you know, home and playing a concert there?
It was nerve-wracking at first because they're like paying money to have you come to their house and play a show, and you want to make sure that you do a good job. And it's like when you're on stage, there's like kind of a disconnect sometimes. But I experienced that last night at this house show in Houston. It was like, it's amazing because like you're kind of in someone's home, and you realize that they're just amazing people, just like loving your music. And these people, it's like so inspiring. You know, like that's one of my favorite things that I've done on the Kickstarter was that. I thought it was a really cool experience. I think it would be cool to do like a house concert tour.
Oh yeah.
Like across the stage, be like, who wants to open up their house? You know, like charge a ticket at the door and sell merchandise. And you have a more personal experience and cap it at like 50 people.
Oh, I'm sure you could find a ton of people that would be willing for that.
That'd be so cool. That's how much I like it.
Now, about the tour, you mentioned with Charlene K, and you know you're with a bunch of other people as well. So when people go to see you on tour, there's a show here in Ann Arbor on April 2nd. What can they expect to see at the show?
A really soulful, awesome show of music. Misty Boyce, who plays keys in my band, is opening. Jay Stoller, who plays bass in my band, is opening. Charlene K has an amazing show. She's a rock star. She's an amazing electric guitar player. Such a fierce woman. And then my stuff. And I'm singing a new song from the new record. And you know, anyone who's been to a show of mine before, there's definitely a lot of vocal stuff and soulful. Hopefully, they're moved by something in the show, but it's very classic, authentic artists coming together and trying to put on a good show. I think it's a great show. Every night, because I'm the last one to play, I feel like I'm able to kind of watch these artists, and every night I'm blown away, you know, and just at the caliber of these musicians. So I think it's a great show to check out.
Now, you recently did a cool thing in which you let a fellow fan who has done covers of your song before sing live on stage with you. What was that experience like? You know, I know him. We talk online and stuff, and, you know, he was really excited about it. So what was that like?
That was amazing. It was just random. I actually thought when I saw him at VIP in Orlando, I thought to myself, that would just be really sweet. Like, that would just be, I would love to have him come up on stage and do a song. And then he actually asked me. He came up to me and said, can I sing something on stage with you? And I was thinking that's so funny because I think he's just so talented. And when I see fans that have covered my songs and reached out to me and have been moved, you know, in some way by the music, it's like, I love it. I love including. I'm from a family of 10 kids, you know. That's all I know is the including process, you know. So it was just, very fun. I didn't even think twice.
Now, set lists are always an interesting thing. You know, you have so many songs from, you know, the official stuff, songs that you've just done, you know, live on YouTube, you know, demos. I mean, what is the process like creating, you know, a set for a tour when you have so much to pull from?
Man, it's not easy. It's the one thing that I always have to make sure. It's such an important thing, a set, because like when you get a good set, you know it and you feel it. And when you don't have a set that's right, you feel it too. It's like, and that's been the one thing I've been trying to like get better at. It's kind of like the musical direction of things. I'm really happy with the set list of this one. I brought some stuff from, you know, Basement Recordings, Voodoo, Wait, and Skipping Stone, and as well as a new song for the new album. So I'm trying to keep it, for the fans of all the separate music things I've done, I'm trying to keep it cohesive, you know?
One of the things a lot of people were asking me to find out about was before the tour had started, you posted a set list with the song All in Disguise listed on it.
Yeah, I know. I may or may not pull that one out. That's a surprise.
We hope you pull it out. We love that song, so we'd love to.
I love that
do
song
that.
too. That's a really kind of a challenging one to nail down with the band. It's kind of like definitely worldly, and it takes, But yeah, I think that's something that definitely I'm going to do live.
Yeah, we'd love to
at some
hear.
point.
And now you've mentioned you've been playing a new song on the tour, "Nothing on Me," and it's already becoming, a fan favorite. And without even people hearing, the final version, I mean, I've seen people talking about this song like it's one of your best. I mean,
wow.
Can you share any information about, what's the meaning behind it?
Yeah, wow. I guess it's just kind of the after Skipping Stone growth and revelation. I mean, this record for me is all about empowerment and strength and fierce and like what it's like to be, independent woman and men and like just being strong and I feel like I've grown so much since my heartbreak process of that EP, and it's kind of like this album's kind of writing itself in a way. My songs are very like big, big classic Americana,
right,
soulful stuff, and I'm kind of tapping into that. So Nothing on Me, just the lyric, troubles come, shadows stray, but in the end they've got nothing on me. It's basically just kind of like a hymn, of like survival and the strength of the human spirit.
Right.
So that's kind of where this record's going.
Now, anyone who is a fan of you knows that your music does not contain any explicit language, but in the live performance of the new song, you do use an explicit word, and I mean, we're wondering, obviously it's important to the song. We had another great song, "LA Made Me," but was edited. So we're wondering now, are we going to get to hear, Alex use that word on a studio song?
Probably. It just came out, I feel like there's an appropriate place, time, and place for things in life, and I'm not one to have a real foul mouth, in my life. I'm definitely I feel like words are important, but I feel like in that song it definitely expresses a feeling that I was feeling when I wrote it, so I think it should stay, and it'd be inauthentic to take it out at this point.
So when the tour is all said and done, you're going to be working on this new album, and you said, of course, you have everything's set in line. You've got the songs ready, the studio, the producer. Is there any information that you can talk about who you'll be working with? I think James Lewis might be doing the new album. I don't know if that's
he's going to be involved, definitely. He's an amazing mixer in London. I can't give too much away yet on that. I'm still in the process of locking down the right team around this, and a lot of it has to do with what I make on the album.
Right.
To be honest with you, a lot of it has to do with whether I reach my goal. I need to take this exactly as I'm taking it, just a day at a time.
Right.
I have a wish list, a dream list, and I would love the opportunity to meet some of the producers and people I'd love to have around this album. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a beautiful record, and I have no doubt in my mind that it's gonna fall exactly where it's meant to fall. I just don't want to press any buttons until I know exactly where I'm at.
Right.
On the budget end of this album, to know exactly what I can do.
We know that you write a lot of music with your brother, and I believe in the fall last year you were working on some material with him. Is that in the running for the new album too, or is that for something else?
Yeah, no, that's the stuff I wrote Nothing on Me with Brendan.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and some of the new songs. That's what's so cool. Being reconnected with my brother and writing was just amazing. He's just so talented, and it's so easy. He just gets me immediately. He gets exactly what I'm doing. I'm really excited about the single of the next album, actually, that I'm really excited about was written by me and Brendan as well. So I'm super stoked for that.
Now, also, one of the most asked questions I got as well was about some of your songs that haven't been officially released yet that you've performed live and stuff. Like Mary was the big one. Everyone's asking about Mary. Are we ever getting an official studio version, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, probably. It's funny. I'm playing that. I think I'm playing that at Southside today. I think so. I think it should be on the next. I love that song.
And then we also have like Weight of the War and Lighthouse.
I know.
I mean, there's so many songs.
There's so many. Maybe I'll do a basement recordings for all those.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We want that.
Because I have a lot of demos of those, but no official recordings yet.
Right.
I know, it's funny.
And unfortunately, we can't talk about ALEXZ JOHNSON without talking about hacking. And, the reason I bring this up is because it does lead, to a positive thing, which I'll get to. But for years, people, have managed to somehow, take songs from you. And even recently, you were talking about how somebody got, in your email and were sending out to, like, business contacts pretending to be you. I mean, what are you going to, are you doing anything to, stop?
I'm taking legal action.
Yeah, definitely. Because,
I'm taking legal action on this at this point in my career. I lost my whole email account. Actually, someone got into my iCloud and was taking photographs of my calendar and threatening me with information that was completely didn't have any meaning, but threatening if I didn't send them demo songs that they would share or do something with my personal information, and it was devastating. And I'm scarred, and it's something that can't happen, and it's illegal, and I'm going to find out who it is, and they're going to not do it again.
Definitely. I mean, it's so, devastating to hear, someone like you. I mean, you're releasing your music in your own time, and when it comes out, we'll hear it, and that's the way that, it should be enjoyed.
I don't understand how much more, I mean, from basement recordings to, like, it's really devastating.
Mm-hmm. But, the positive note I'm trying to get to is that, throughout all this, you kind of got the last laugh when you got to release, the basement recordings, officially, put the songs out, and fans, even though they were already, a lot of the songs were leaked, fans still paid for them and, showed that they do support you, and, there's the good people out there who are going to do, get your music the correct way.
Yeah, that was really awesome. It was. Well, that's the reason why we released the basement recordings, because they were already leaked online.
And while we're on the basements real quick, I mean, we talked about it's a trilogy, and, Brendan and you said that. I mean, is there potentially going to be, a fourth, or?
There could be a fourth. We have enough material.
And now wrapping up the interview here, I have a few sort of rapid-fire quick questions that some fans were curious about. The first one is, who came up with the idea to put the outro on the Chicago Master?
That was my idea, actually, in the studio. We had Luis Conte was in the studio just, like, vibing out, and I got into this whole, world thing, so it ended up becoming actually really, really cool, which was awesome, and we kept it. I'd love to recreate that live at some point. If I had, like, the appropriate musicians on stage to do it, it would be really, really fun.
And then, a lot of people want to know, are you interested in doing like a stripped acoustic album of, a lot of your songs you've done in the past and re-release them in, a different form?
I would love to do an acoustic record, actually. That's something I was thinking about. After this next album, I'd love to put something out just acoustic based of all my songs. It'd be really fun.
People were also curious about the writers for the song When's It Gonna Come, and the writers for Higher Ground.
Oh, yeah, Higher Ground and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know the writers. It's hard at this point because every time I mention a writer, that writer gets emailed by a false ALEXZ Johnson for tracks. But, yeah, that was Mike Elizondo, actually. I wrote those with him.
Okay, very cool.
He's a super talented producer.
Yeah. And then finally right here, the reflections for the second half of the tour. You're at the midway point. You're getting ready to do, a big showcase tonight. I mean, is there anything that, you want to do in the second half you haven't done in the first half, or anything you want to change?
Yeah, we're kind of adding, I mean, it's this kind of when it starts to get fun, and I can add different songs to the set list, and I think I'm kind of done. Yeah, I'm going to add probably a couple new songs, for the last half, but just kind of going with it as it comes, just basing on the audience and the venue and stuff like that.
Right.
So I guess the rest of the tour just hopefully it's been amazing so far, so just keep up the stamina and stay healthy and, not get sick and burnt out.
Awesome.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Well, it's nice to connect again. Look forward to meeting you.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.